For the past month, residents in New Jersey and beyond in other Northeast states have seen drones flying by, mysterious drones. They've raised more questions than answers that we've received. So, to kick off the conversation, can you tell us what you know?
Sure. As you said, this started 4 weeks ago here in New Jersey. And about 3 weeks ago, it really ticked up, I would say. So much so that last week, uh, myself and about 500 other mayors here in New Jersey were invited to an unprecedented briefing down at New Jersey Police Headquarters. It was not only every mayor in the state, but it was also every member of our state delegation, our state legislature. So we were told when we got down there that by the time we left, we would know every single thing the state of New Jersey knows. Well, it could have been a 5-minute Zoom meeting because we know very little. They know very little. So if you take some of the little bits of information they told us, but more importantly, sometimes what they haven't told us, we're able to piece some different things together. So the information has been slow to come. This past Monday, because mayors like myself have been really calling out for some truth here and transparency, we were all invited to a White House briefing. It was the White House Office of Intergovernmental Affairs. And that meeting went about 45 minutes. And again, next to nothing. I mean, literally telling us we're seeing things, mostly manned, a lot of misidentification, nothing to see here. Yet, the crazy part about that is that that was on Monday. Less than 24 hours after that, the House Intelligence Committee convened a classified meeting that lasted more than 3 hours. So questions mayors and myself have been asking, well, what did they talk about for 3 hours in a classified meeting with the Intelligence Committee about drones in New Jersey, yet told mayors the day before, nothing to see here?
When there's nothing to see here, when that's said, that really makes conspiracy theories run wild. But a lot of constituents, even lawmakers themselves, have seen things. As you said, you were able to piece together some things. What exactly were you able to piece together?
So we have a little bit of facts that we've garnered in the past month or so, especially in the last week, that we've really ticked up calling for openness and transparency. So here's what I know from our briefings. I know for a fact that we were told there are drones hovering over New Jersey's critical infrastructure. What is that? Well, here in New Jersey, we have two nuclear plants. We have the Picatinny Arsenal. We have multiple reservoirs. We have Trump Bedminster. So plenty of infrastructure here, plenty of top security sites here in New Jersey. We know for a fact that drones are over them. We also know, and this is a quote from our governor, one of the rare times he's actually spoken on this. By the way, I didn't mention that when we convened that meeting last week with every single mayor, the governor was a no-show. He had about 200 COVID-related press conferences, yet has been very, very quiet on this topic. So we know for a fact that they're up there. Our governor, in one of the rare statements that he did make, he said that our New Jersey State Police helicopters have actually gone up, this was early on, and tried to actually pursue or try to get close to a drone, and the drone turned off and disappeared. Those are his words, not mine. We also know from our state police that these drones are not emitting radio frequencies. So when people say we're seeing personal drones or we're seeing commercial drones, and believe it or not, there is some misidentification going on. I'll give you that. But when people say that these are nothing but personal drones and commercial drones, it's simply not true. These drones are high tech, something like our government would have, or maybe a foreign adversary would have. They are not emitting a radio frequency, which makes it really difficult to track them, but makes it impossible to knock them out of the sky with a jammer. Because if they don't have a radio frequency, you can't jam them, you can't bring them down to the ground.
So, who do you think then is operating these drones? Do you think it's a foreign adversary? Because this story reminds me a lot of the Chinese spy balloon from earlier this year. Is it something nefarious? President Biden himself said he believes there's nothing nefarious. Do you believe him?
I don't. Listen, the administration has said some crazy things. You got the president finally speaking on this thing. He said nothing nefarious. After the members of the House Intelligence Committee was briefed, they came out and they all towed the party line. Nothing to see here, nothing nefarious, no credible threat. However, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee has come out. He said he believes they're Chinese drones. Yet another congressperson from New Jersey has said it's an Iranian mothership off our coast. So these are the top level federal officials that are giving us such misleading and different information. That's really the crazy part here. We can't get a straight story out of anybody.